Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome or welcome back if you've been here before. This is ASMR Remedy, and I post new ASMR content whenever my schedule allows. Do I look different to you? Do I look different? Do I look 1 degree hotter? Because I graduated from law school last weekend. My aunt got me this mug as part of my graduation little gift. So I guess we're just doing like a little update. Just checking on you. Just checking on you. Yeah, you look great, you look great. You look great. First of all, I turned my air off to film this, and if you guys know me, you know that I literally hate being hot / uncomfortable more than anything. So, I don't know how long the video is going to be, but the air just felt, like the air's usually on when I film, but it felt really loud to me. I'm sitting on the floor in front of my bookshelf. I do have a tripod now. I know I've been telling you guys for like the last 3 videos that I need to buy a tripod. Got it, a tripod. Like, I just felt like sitting on the floor and drinking my coffee. So, and I clearly just got out of the shower, which is why I have wet hair. It's the middle of the day. It's like 12:30 on Saturday. And so I'm going in for my second cup of coffee. I usually, let me know if you guys do this too. So usually throughout the day, I switch between ice and hot. So my first cup of the day, I mean, I would say 9 months out of the year, so just when it's not summer, my first cup of the day is hot. And then in the afternoon, for my little pick-me-up, I like it iced. But lately, I've been doing a swap and starting my day with iced and then going to hot. But if I start my day with iced coffee, I can't have it right away. So like, giving you so much more detail and information than what you need. But I don't like, so I don't drink cold water pretty much ever. The loudest car on earth just drove by. So I don't like cold water to hydrate. I will drink water, cold water to cool down. So like yesterday, I had my regular water, which is like slightly colder than room temp. And then I also bought an ice cold water bottle, and I had them both. And the regular water was to drink, and the other water was just like when I needed to cool down. Anyways, first thing in the morning, I don't like anything like ice cold going into my body. It feels really jarring. So if I'm gonna have an iced coffee, I usually don't have it for at least a half an hour after I wake up. Whereas if I'm having hot coffee, I get up and I like immediately make it. I don't know. I have a lot of like bizarre rules for myself. Let me know if you guys are the same way. It's just like part of being type A and a control freak and the eldest daughter with divorced parents, ? I don't know why I am the way I am. My therapist could tell you all about it. Anyways, I graduated from law school. Let's go back to that. Most of you guys know it's been a long time coming. I actually had a subscriber comment several videos ago saying that they remember when I first decided to go back to college to finish my undergrad, and I was like, wow, first of all, thank you so much for being here. I actually started my channel my freshman year of college. college, of undergrad. And yeah, I like dropped out in the middle of undergrad, worked full time, and then went back to school, put myself through school, which I think I have a story time about this, but if any of you like guys who haven't been here for years and years or whatever, if you want a story time about my college experience, or getting ready for law school or any of that type of stuff, I'd be happy to talk about it. Or like what law school is like, etc. Now that law school's over, I don't really feel that much different because I am now studying full-time for the bar, which I've also talked about. So basically, just to like give some information, my hair keeps sticking to my face because the serum I use is like kind of sticky until it like dries all the way down. Okay, so let's talk about the bar exam. So many states have adopted what is called the UBE, the Universal Bar Exam, which is what I'm taking. So my state uses the Universal Bar Exam, but I'm actually taking the UBE in a different state because, so technically I graduated from law school, right? Walked to my ceremony, but I still have 1 credit left to graduate. I took a maximum credit semester this past semester, and I couldn't fit 1 more credit in. I just couldn't, because you guys probably also know I've been working multiple jobs all through law school, and for law school it's a lot different than undergrad, but the maximum amount of credits, at least at my school, is 16, and it was already going to be very difficult doing 16 credits and working 2 jobs. So I'm actually taking I'm doing credit this summer through an externship. So I'm basically going to be using my law job that I'm continuing to work very part-time, just 1 day a week while I'm studying. I'm using that as an externship credit to finish my degree. So technically I don't have my Juris Doctor yet. I won't technically have my Juris Doctor awarded to me until September, but I have finished school. No more tests, no more papers. So that's the situation. So anyways, my state does not let you take the UBE unless you're completely done with law school by May, right? A neighboring state lets you take it as long as you have, I think it's less than 5 credits left to complete. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking it in another state, and then once I pass there, I can apply to have my license basically transferred to my current state. So by the end of the year, I'll have licensure in 2 states as long as everything goes to plan. So that's that. My coffee's not that good today. I like totally messed it up and the ratio's off. I made it in a French press and it's not the vibe today, unfortunately. Yikes. So anyways, I am taking the bar exam, and the bar exam takes place over 2 days. It's 12 hours in total. And this is like nationwide. It the last 2 days of July, and it's offered the last 2 days in February, I believe. So anyways, I'm taking it the last 2 days in July. So that's been my whole life, is full-time studying for that. I guess to tell you, we'll just make this whole video me telling you about the bar exam. Sorry, I'm adjusting here. Okay, so day one. The first 3 hours of the exam are, it's called the MPT portion, multi-state performance test, I think. And and it's two 90-minute essays. They give them to you at once, and they give you 3 hours, and you can take however long you want for each, but they should each be 90 minutes. And this is what's called a closed world exam, meaning it doesn't require any legal knowledge outside of what's in front of you, which is different than the rest of the bar exam. So you're basically given these packets, and so the packet it's like a fake case and assignment. So you'll be told to write like a brief or a memo about an issue, and then you get, you know, maybe a transcript of an interview with the client or different, you know, emails or papers, and then you get fake cases and fake statutes. So you get all this fake law and then like an issue, and then you have to determine, like, you have to write the product and figure out the answers to the questions based on the fake cases and statutes they give you. So this is like the closest thing to like being a real attorney, right? It's like you're presented with a case, and then you have to apply law and statutes and things that you know to, you know, figure it out. So that's what that is. 2 of those are 90 minutes, and each packet's like around 20-ish pages. So you gotta read through all that and then formulate an answer and create like a submittable work product. So you have 2 of those. That's the first 3 hours. Then we get a lunch break. Then the next piece is 3 hours, and that's called the MEE, which is like the essay portion. So you get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 essay questions, and you have 3 hours. So they're each meant to be 30 minutes, and they can be on any different type of law that we are supposed to study for the bar. So they can be on family law, tort law, contract law, business law, criminal law, whatever. And so there's 6 of those. That's 3 hours. That's day 1. And then day 2 is the MBE, which is the multiple choice portion of the bar. And first 3 hours, 100 multiple choice questions. Lunch break, second 3 hours, 100 multiple choice questions. If it sounds exhausting, that's because it is. So, think passage rate. It's different for every state, it's different for every school, blah blah blah, but it's around 70% of people pass. I don't love those odds, to be honest. It's just like, it's not enough that we just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and 3 years of our lives in law school to get this degree. But then we have to like do this other thing. So, and we don't get our results for like a couple months after we take the exam, which is crazy. Like, my state results don't come out till the end of October. We take it at the end of July. But the state I'm taking it in, we get ours in September, so I'll get mine a little bit earlier, which is nice, but still, I have to wait like 6 weeks after I take the exam. And again, that's nothing compared to the like 10 weeks that people in my state have to wait. It's crazy. So anyways, that's that. I mentioned doing like a bar prep day in the live vlog, which I definitely will film at some time, even though I'm terrible at vlogs and they're really hard for me, honestly. Like, I'm just bad at that. But I will do something like that soon, once I'm into like a full routine. So yeah, basically there's like these bar prep courses, commercial courses. Pretty much everyone takes one. Like, you don't have to pass the bar, but you have to, you know. It's not required, but like, you need to. And of course, each bar prep course is like $2,000, literally, like I'm not exaggerating at all. And you have these like video, like everyone's different, but mine basically has like video modules. There's like little mini quizzes after every video module, and then there's portions of the exam like MPT, MEE, MBE, the ones I talked about, that you take that have questions from, like actual questions from bar exams, and some of them are like self-graded, and then you get a few that are like graded by the people that run the course, like they will actually be graded. So, and then during the semester I took a bar studies course that my school offers, and the professor that teaches that, she's been teaching this course for 20 years, so this is her 40th bar exam that she's been like coaching basically, and she sends out like little emails every day, and she holds some summer like workshop type things that are optional, but she's already had a couple that I've gone to, and we've got one next week, I think, and the week after, so. And lots of resources from her. It's just so much. Like, it's hard to kind of figure out like where to start and like what to do. So, example, like my boyfriend and I are both taking the bar exam this July, and yesterday was the first time we studied together, which means we both sat at the library in silence doing our own thing. Like, we don't like study together. But what he's doing for study and technique and routine is totally different than how I'm studying, and part of that is because, one, we're taking different courses, but two, because our brains work differently. We just have a different idea of how we want to do things, which is totally fine. Like, you can do things any kind of way and pass the bar, right? Like, I have an Excel spreadsheet with my whole schedule, with the hours needed to study to pass, which is like a statistical formula. I'm very like in that way. Like, I color code things, and I have a very specific system, and I have different binders for everything, and I have my Excel spreadsheet, and I have my stopwatch, and that is what works for me to keep me on track and to keep me moving toward my goal. Whereas a lot of people would be like overwhelming and stressful, and they would rather just sit down and do the stuff until they're tired, take a break, and you know, I need to have that structure personally. That's how I operate, just how I operate. And a lot of you know this, I've talked about it before, and again, I'd be happy to talk about it again in like a dedicated video, but I like academically performed pretty poorly in law school, due partially to some personal factors that are very much outside my control, family stuff, some personal, this is dramatic, but we'll call them tragedies and things that took focus from law school, as well as I financially had to work multiple jobs throughout the course of school. So I did not perform as well as I think that I'm capable of, and as well as I should have during law school. Again, it's not me making excuses, it's just is the truth of how it happened. I mean, I graduated, so I didn't perform that poorly, but I did, you know. And so anyways, so I have a lot of issues with my academic confidence, so to speak, but I know I have the drive and the work ethic and the organization and everything to pass the bar and to make it happen. So to me, I'm looking at this as like another chance, like a chance to prove to myself that, like, you know, those factors and things that I felt that I couldn't overcome without sacrificing my focus and attention on school don't exist for me anymore. So this is my opportunity to really give my full focus during these 10 weeks of full-time study and to make it happen. And you know, I'm certainly not cocky or like, oh, like I'm sure I'm gonna pass. No. But I'm confident that I can do everything within my control to make sure I pass, and then we'll see what happens. Again, different from what I had in law school. So that is that. I am still working both jobs, but very part-time. So I mentioned I'm working my law job just 1 day a week, just on Tuesdays. And then I'm bartending. I thought I was only going to be bartending Thursday nights, but right now they also need me on Sunday mornings. I mean, I could tell them no anytime. So I think probably for the next month. But then in July, if it's financially feasible, which I'm hoping it will be, we'll see. If it's financially feasible, I'd like to not work at all in July and just only focus on the bar exam. So right now I'm primarily focused on that. I get up in the morning and I get started, and then I take breaks as I need them throughout the day, and I'm pretty much going with bar type stuff until nighttime, until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I'm typically doing like 12-ish hour days, obviously not studying for 12 hours a day, but to give myself to take breaks, to go outside, to switch environments. I love to switch environments. In fact, after I finish this video, I'm gonna pack up my stuff and go to the library, I think. It's just harder to focus at home, so probably do that. To take time to make meals, to exercise, to lay on the floor and play with my cats, to scroll on TikTok, you know. It's important to take breaks, so to keep my mind fresh. And like, nobody can stay focused for 8 hours without taking a break. That's just like insane. And I don't know how often I'll be able to film videos. It's been busy and I'm just getting into a routine, but I like filming videos. I feel that they're good for my mental health. I like connecting with you guys and like reading comments and responding. I always respond to comments unless they're like don't make sense or are like kind of rude. I don't get those very often. Mostly it's just like you guys and we're hanging out and we're chatting. I'm always in the chat, so if you're still watching, leave me a comment. I'll respond to it probably. But just trying to prioritize my mental health. I'm still going to therapy weekly. I go to therapy. You know, making sure I'm drinking water, making sure I'm getting as much sleep as I reasonably can. Although when I'm anxious, I have a really hard time staying asleep. So yeah, I tend to wake up way earlier than I should, like based on what time I went to bed. So I'm working on that, trying to eat decently good, like take care of my body and exercise and do all the things to make sure that my brain is at its best capacity for learning and for keeping anxiety reasonably at bay and just overall taking care of myself. So because yeah, I mean, I'm prone to anxiety, panic, and all of those things, and I'm embarking on a very high pressure journey and taking the bar exam, and so I just want to keep myself, you know, I want to only have to worry about learning the material and preparing for the bar and not other things that are made up in my head. I'm sure plenty of you guys can relate. What else? Oh my gosh, and also I do want to touch on, because I said that my boyfriend's also taking a bar. Like, it's just hard because I am somebody that likes to make plans, okay? I think we've established this about me. I like to have a plan. So to me, like, I like to go into the week knowing what I'm doing on the weekend, knowing what my plans are. And that's because one, I like the structure and to be able to like plan out my week and know what's ahead. But two, especially when I'm doing something like this, when I'm studying full time, I like to have something to look forward to like break up my week. And for me, that's usually whatever night I get to have date night with Richard. But whenever he is stressed and overwhelmed, he likes to not have plans, because he doesn't know how he's going to feel on a particular day, and if he's going to feel behind, and he doesn't want to feel like he has to do something. So we studied together, but like we haven't, it's Saturday afternoon and we don't have plans for this weekend. And I work tomorrow, so tomorrow night I'm going to need to come home and study after work. So I don't know how, I mean, our number one focus, right, individually, is passing the bar. Okay. But at least for me, my number two focus is keeping our relationship like alive, and like we obviously rely on each other. Like, disclaimer, we've been together for over a year, okay? We don't live together. I should have probably said that. We don't live together. We've been together for over a year. We met in law school, and we've definitely gone through periods of like we don't really see each other much outside of school sometimes when our schedules are really busy, because we have to prioritize our mental health and our work, right? Because we're working toward a goal. It'll be different when we just have full-time jobs and we're not working toward passing an exam. You know what I'm saying? But right now it just is tough. And so I have to come up with things like plans for just myself that don't rely on him. I don't really have close friends in the city I live in. Most of my friends don't live here, okay? I do, like, I have a couple of friends, but not friends that I hang out with consistently. Like, my best, closest friends are my sister and Haley, who's been on the channel a million times. You guys know Haley. And neither of them live here. So, it's not like I can say, like, okay, I'm gonna make plans to have dinner with Haley on Friday night. No. I can make plans to FaceTime with Haley on Friday night, but it's not the same. Especially when all I do is sit and look at a screen in my house anyways. Like, I just want to go to dinner. And my only, let's go to dinner options, really, are my boyfriend and my friend Truman, who's also taking the bar exam in July. So, I'm kind of, there's like a loneliness to this, right? So, I'm just sort of like, it's hard to balance these things. And like, I'm friends with people I work with, but we don't really hang out like outside of work. I guess I have one Columbus friend who's like a go out to dinner friend. But our schedules are very different, and she is typically somebody who we have to plan like weeks in advance. And I don't know what my schedule looks like weeks in advance. I don't want to overwhelm like, I do know what my schedule looks like, but I don't know how I'm going to be feeling as far as behind or overwhelmed, or like where I'm going to be feeling in my space with studying. So a lot of you guys know I'm a huge like film person, and my ultimate happy place is going to the movies, specifically by myself, specifically like when nobody else will be there. Like, there's nothing more calming and peaceful and like taking a break from everything kind of moment, like being in an empty theater where it's just me watching a movie. So like, I kind of want to go to a movie tonight or tomorrow night, but it's like weekend, so maybe I'd rather wait until like, you know, but maybe that's something I need to do, is like every week go see a movie by myself and plan it so that I have something to look forward to every week. That's like an actual thing, because I can watch a movie at home, or I can cook myself something yummy for dinner, but like, you know what I mean, something like that's like a treat, something special that I can go to every week, because I'm not going to necessarily be able to rely on social plans, because everybody that I'm social with that lives here is doing the same thing as me. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's sort of what's happening right now. the bar with bar prep, with my internal monologue. If any of my subscribers happen to be studying for the bar right now, please connect with me. You could even send me an email if you want, and like, let's be buddies. Sorry, there's a guy walking outside and I thought it was one of my coworkers. Yeah, I don't know. I am really, I am feeling, I'm overwhelmed, but I'm optimistic. So that's kind of my brain space. If you guys have listened and watched this far, thank you so much for supporting me. It really means the world to me, and I love this like space online that I'm creating. So if you're still watching this, comment down below if you have any ideas of like something I can do for myself every week that I can like plan that's like feels exciting. It can be something different every week, but like if you have any solo activities you recommend that involve leaving your house besides going to the movies and going for walks, you know, I don't know. Anyways, I hope that you guys are all staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you all in my next video.